pro-life is basically being pro-love. God has a purpose for all of us, and I want to say it's our right and it's our duty to bring to life those souls that God obviously put in our wombs, to bring them to life and let them become what they need to become. I was raised in a Catholic family. We went to Mass every Sunday, but we weren't really raised to love God and to understand what life means. So when I was 17, I, of course, made all kinds of wrong choices, and I met someone. And of course, my parents hated this person a lot. And I got pregnant that night. Both of my parents came to my room and said basically that they couldn't be responsible for this baby, that I was going to ruin my life if I had this baby, that of course it didn't come from a good dad per se. So they pretty much told me the best option that you have is basically to have an abortion. The devil worked so fast that night. It was like a one-night thing. My parents talked to me, and I was a little girl still. You know, I didn't know which way to go. Of course, I didn't have their support. So the next day, they took me to this clinic. Now in Colombia, abortion is illegal still. Thank God, but of course it's less, you know, it's less careful. It's very fast. It's done by people who are maybe not even doctors. We got there, and you know, the doctor talked to me and said, "Okay, this is how it's going to happen." It was with the scoop method. So of course, within all this, I was in absolute desperation. I knew this wasn't what I wanted to do. But, you know, it was what my parents told me that was right to do. So I remember laying on that bed and not wanting this at all. So the doctor was there, and I remember screaming, "Don't do it, I don't want to do it anymore." And he said, "It's too late, it's gonna happen." There was no anesthesia, there was nothing. It was so painful, so abrupt and horrible. And I felt like he was scraping, you know, my insides. And when he was done, he took the baby. I was only probably 4 weeks pregnant, and he took the baby and he flushed it down the toilet right in front of my eyes. You know, I could hear the toilet, my baby going down, and you know, he was done. My family wasn't in the room with me or anything. When I left, of course, I was so sad. I got in the car and I just couldn't believe what I just did. After that, you know, I just continued with my life, and I didn't think about it for a very long time until about 2 years ago, when I started, you know, believing more in God. It was by the mercy of God, really, that I got close to Him, because He called me. I wasn't looking for Him, but He called me. And I went to a retreat, and that day when I got there, I pretty much fell on my knees, and I knew it was Him in me, healing me and hugging me and telling me that I was forgiving, that you know, everything was going to be okay. And ever since then, I haven't left God, and I know He did forgive me, and I know, you know, that He will forgive any woman. God's love was there always. I just didn't see it until I opened my heart. Then after I forgave myself, God gave me the blessing of having my family become closer to me because of what happened. My family is much closer to God now because of my testimony, because of what happened. We are all pro-life. We, you know, talk to people. They share the testimony with people there, as I do here, because we want to help Jesus save lives.